Lock in, let loose. Cool colorway, not the best name for a pack in my opinion. What's going on, guys? Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the brand new Lock In Let Loose pack colorway of the Nike Mercurial Superfly 5. We're going to go over all the details of this shoe in today's video, including how they fit and feel on feet. So if you're interested in learning more, stick around. If you're interested in a pair for yourself, I'll leave a little pop-up on screen, or you can click the first link down below. That'll take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $300 retail price. Included in the box with the shoes is this laser orange and black Mercurial string bag. Starting off with the colorway, this is one that I really didn't like when I first saw the launch pictures, but in person, this is actually one of the better colorways of the Superfly 5 in my opinion. You have the combination of laser orange and volt yellow within the Flyknit, which is a subtle detail, but it actually looks really, really cool in person. So of course, you do have the clear Nike skin covering, so you get to see the weave of the Flyknit, which when it's multicolor like that, again, I just like those two colors together. I think it looks really cool. And then as it transitions to black, you see it right here. That just looks really cool to me. It really does pop. You have it in the collar, and then the inside of the collar looks pretty crazy as well. You do have, of course, the black pinstriping for the actual texturing that's incorporated into the Flyknit as well. Not so crazy about that, but it actually works quite nicely on this colorway, I would say. You have the black Nike swoosh with the white outline, and then as with the new colorways of Mercurial, you do have the big Nike branding as well in white, which I don't mind it, but I know a lot of people dislike the way this looks. Let me know your thoughts on that down below in the comments. The Flyknit and the ACC branding in white, the Mercurial logo in white right there. And then they went with a white sole plate. It's got the black rim. I really wish they would have went with a black sole plate. I think that would have looked quite cool. And then volt yellow as an accent for the studs, which are also translucent, which is pretty nice. So overall, really good looking colorway, but let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. At this point in time, we all know that the Superfly 5 is a very good, well-proven, capable top-end shoe, but if you'd like to learn more about the overall performance, even just see the shoes in action, I'll leave a little pop-up on screen to my playtest video that's been up on my channel since the Superfly 5 originally came out. Gives you some really good insight on what the experience of wearing this shoe is all about. But for the sake of this video, we're gonna go over all the basic tech specs that you should know if you were considering these as your next pair of boots. Thin and light is what the Superfly 5 is all about, and it achieves that by way of Flyknit material, which pretty makes up the entirety of the upper. The structured part of the Flyknit upper is where you'll find the Nike skin top layer covering the Flyknit itself. It's a polyurethane material that's there as mainly a protective layer and to keep the surface from being completely slick. Now, the Flyknit base itself does have speed rib texturing to it, so it's not completely smooth. A little bit difficult to see on camera, but you can see it does have a slight bumpiness to the surface. That's not something that's super noticeable on the ball, but what the speed rib texturing does do is it adds thickness to the material of the upper. So the touch that you get on the ball is definitely thin. It's what I would describe as a barefoot feel, but it still has some thickness to it, and given the nature of knitted material, there's a very, very slight amount of padding. Nonetheless, it's very comfortable to wear. It does have a sock-like sensation, but it also provides that pingy feel you would expect from a top-end Mercurial model. You also find that flywire cables within the Flyknit structure run from the base of the sole into the lacing position, so when you tie the laces tight, it really does a good job of locking down your midfoot and forefoot area, giving this shoe a very, very responsive sensation in general, despite feeling quite soft and fairly sock-like, especially once broken in. Another performance feature that I would say is fairly minor is the ACC all conditions control aspect, which you will get on all top-end models from Nike. Now, across the top of the foot where you have the central lacing system, and then flowing into the collar, you have elasticated Flyknit. This is exposed, not covered with any kind of Nike skin. And the reason why it's stretchy across the top of the foot is so you can more easily put the shoes on and take them off. And it also allows the center of the shoe to stretch when you put them on and then kind of compress back to the shape of your foot, kind of like a pair of socks, eliminating any extra dead space across that area of the upper. You also, because of this design, don't have any overlapping materials, which is really nice. The collar aspect is where there are some misconceptions. A lot of people think this is some kind of ankle support element, which is not the case whatsoever. This is just elasticated knitted material that happens to be attached to the rest of the upper. The way that this collar wraps your ankle or fits your ankle, tight or loose, has absolutely nothing to do with the fit. All the lockdown and security entry is coming from below the ankle, as you would normally have with a standard low-cut shoe. It's just an added element, kind of a gimmicky thing you could say, but it's part of the shoe, it's a characteristic of the shoe, and it does change the feel and experience of wearing them ever so slightly. It does impact the fit in the heel as well, which we'll talk about a little bit later in the video. Speaking of the heel, internal plastic heel counter, internal synthetic leather liner, removable now Nike grip insole, but the lining material really doesn't make a difference at all in terms of grip in general on your feet. It just feels like a standard mesh liner. And then you'll also find that it does have the anatomically shaped sole plate, which is one of my personal favorite features of the top end Mercurials, basically meaning that the sole plate itself is not completely flat at the base. It's got a little bit of a dip to it in the forefoot as well as in the heel. So you sit in the sole plate versus directly on top of a flat surface, which again gives you a very connected feel, prevents your foot from sliding from side to side on the base of a normally flat sole plate, and just feels really, really good. It's a great idea that is exclusive to the Mercurial line at the moment. And then of course, this being the firm ground stud pattern, you get these chevron style bladed studs, very aggressive, decent length to them as well. If you're just looking for the most aggressive traction you can get from a firm ground stud pattern, the Mercurial line at the moment is definitely where it's at. The weight is also a major factor when it comes to the experience of the Nike Mercurial Superfly 5, and in a size 9 US, these guys weigh in at right around 6.8, 6.9 ounces, which is very, very light. The only thing lighter from Nike right now is from the other top end Mercurial, the Vapor 11, which I think if you want the lightest possible, tightest fitting, thinnest feel from a pair of shoes, the Vapor is probably the better option for you. Whereas if you want something that has the mid-cut design, the softer, more sock-like sensation from the Flyknit upper, the little bit of extra weight that you have on the Superfly versus the Vapor is not going to be noticeable at all. As you can see, I swapped out the stock black laces for some bright tangerine reflective SR4U. How do I knock it over? How do I do that? For some bright tangerine reflective SR4U replacement laces, which pretty much match the laser orange perfectly. And it looks really good given how much color you already have on the shoe. So if you are interested in a pair of SR4U replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. There'll be a little pop-up on screen as well as a link down below in the description. On feet, the Superfly 5 fits extremely well. Typical Mercurial, very, very tight fit. No extra space on the inside of the shoes whatsoever. Really a nice one-to-one connection. The Flyknit material gives that nice sock-like softness, and that does get a lot better as you break them in. I love the feeling of the anatomically shaped sole plate underneath your feet as well. The only quirk with the break-in process is going to be the heel area. Like with a lot of the mid-cut models from Nike, and I think mid-cut shoes in general, you may experience a little bit of discomfort at first at the very back of your heels. So again, take your time, take it easy with the break-in process, and you should be able to avoid any kind of significant discomfort. As far as width is concerned, you're not really going to get much stretch out of this upper, and it is a very tight-fitting shoe. They're not so narrow to where they're only going to fit narrow-footed people, but if you do have wide feet or you just don't like tight-fitting shoes, probably not going to be the best option for you. But if you've worn Mercurials in the past, you should fit comfortably in the Superfly 5 as well. As far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit and length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size in order to achieve the best possible fit. That's it for my review of the Nike Mercurial Superfly 5 in the lock-in let loose pack colorway. Again, if you're interested in a pair for yourself, you can click the first link down below in the description. That'll take you to the review page on my website where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $300 retail price. If you have any questions regarding this shoe, as always, leave them down below in the comments and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information linked down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.